Yo, what's going on? Mr. Barrella coming back at you with some introductory video. It's my first year in the DOE. This has been what I call a hell of a ride. So we're coming in on the end of October. Oh man, 2 months in has been brutal. So let me give you a background story on how I got to this point. So again, my name is Mr. Barrella, and I am not a traditional. I don't even know if there are regular traditional teachers anymore because there's so many programs that put people from other degree paths into the teaching field. Now, I don't know if that's because there's such a lack of good teachers or it's just we really, really need a lot of help. And to be honest, this job is demanding. For those people who think, yo, I'm going to be a teacher because the work is easy, wrong. I'm going to become a teacher because I get my weekends off. I have time when I come off. Wrong. You take that shit home. It's a lot of work. So again, for those who don't know, and it's probably going to be in the title, you're looking at cohort 31, New York City teaching fellow. So basically, that what that entails is I graduated my college. I graduated not too far from here. I'm in the Far Rockaway right now. I graduated at York College with a degree in pharmaceutical science, and I was like, all right, cool. So let me get some lab jobs. Hope I'm pre med. I could always apply to medical school. And so what happened there was I got a lab job and I was applying for medical school, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this lab job sucks." So I'm like, I need to get out of this situation. I was actually working in Long Island. It was like a poop lab. We would analyze the fecal matter of animals to see if there was parasites in it. Oh, long, duh, right? So fast forward a few years, and that shit sucked. Fast forward a few years. Well, actually, fast forward. I only worked there for 1 month. I go on Indeed and I see an opening at a Catholic school. I don't want to mention their name. I don't want any trouble. I see an opening on a Catholic school, and I'm like, huh, teaching. So I've done this during undergrad. Let me try like tutoring. Let me try this with kids. And I've done some work with kids. I did NASA stuff like that. So I get there, and it was awesome. I love the kids. They were well behaved to an extent, right? Super smart, super smart. You really run into great kids. And I said, wow, I can see myself doing this long term. Catch 22. I was uncertified. So the reason I got this job, the person that they hired was like a preschool teacher teaching like fifth through eighth grade science. I don't know how that happened, but she quickly evacuated and they put me in. So I ran into my boy. Shout outs to the one of the best social studies slash religion teachers out there, and he's like, "Yo, bro, I have." He had a PhD. Is like, I joined this program called Teaching Fellows. I said, Teaching Fellows, what the hell is that? So basically, I sent my application in December, and I got an interview in March, and then I got accepted in April. So I was like, whoa, that was super fast. This was like, it's a timely process because you need a bachelor, you need this, you need that. And the fellows was, I'm not going to say tough as shit, but they're going to work your ass during the summer. So I could make a separate video on the guideline, or I could just fuck it, I'm going to throw it in here. So basically, what happened is after you go, so the fellows is you go, you do a 5 minute demo instruction. So you're preparing your lessons and you're going to teach to other people that want to be a teacher like you. So you get into the program and you run in, and then you have other teachers who are, I think they're evaluating on some Danielson or just their own rubric. Very nice. They want you to get in the teaching field. Don't think, oh, I see a lot of negative reviews. Probably they just can't talk. To be a teacher, you got to speak. It's all about motivation, this, that. If all the internet trolls, they're jerking off in the dungeon. They can't really speak. They can't have good conversations. Of course, they're gonna write negative reviews. And a lot of people also have other issues. So that's besides the point. So what happened here is I got in, I passed it. Awesome people. One of my boys, Mr. Mudab, shout outs to him. He's working in Brooklyn. We're currently studying at Pace. So the great thing about the teaching fellows is not only do they put you in a DOE school, they subsidize your master's. So I'm actually doing my master's at Pace right now. And what happens here is we starting June 19, I had to quit my private school job a little earlier. You go there and there's no foreplay. You go there and you start taking classes immediately at Pace, and you start doing SBS, which is crap, skill building sessions, how to become a teacher, how to teach. It's all based on this one book that they call the Bible, called Teach Like a Champion 2.0. So Teach Like a Champion is this guy named Doug Lemove. I kind of read it. I'm not going to say don't read it. You could, like, you learn enough during SBS, but it's basically, if we were to throw you into a shitty environment, like literally, this is what they're expecting. If we were to throw you in the most dog shit environment, can you float? And this is the manuscript on how to float and turn a shitty school into a less shitty school. And then hopefully, as the years go by, you turn that less shitty school into, hey, about 95% of my class is passing with threes and fours. That's the objective of the fellows. We want to put African Americans, minorities, even, don't even if their missions like that, they still employ whites, all these people. Put them in a classroom, turn 1 and 2 grade schools into 2 and 3s, and hopefully threes and fours. So now you get there, and every single day, attendance, they don't fuck around with that. You go there every single day, and you're taking classes, you're taking your master classes during the day, you're doing SBS, skill building session in the evening, until July. So once July comes, shit hits the fan and shit hits ASAP. So during this process, you're building trust, you're building a family relationship. I love all the boys and girls at Pace. They're awesome. And then they remove you from that environment. Then they throw you in a summer school with a high needs summer school. So I'm fortunate, I'm from Queens. I was able to stay in Queens. Some people have to commute to the Bronx. Oh, please, I'm so glad. Shout outs to those teachers in the Bronx. You guys work the hardest. You guys, I sympathize with you. I really do. So what happens here is your summer training, everything that they crammed into you for 1 month, they're like, all right, go teach, right? Whether or not that's your content, you're going to teach it. So I'm a chemistry by trade, but to say that you know no other science is kind of bullshit. Everybody knows in your field, you know everything somewhat related. You might not be the master of it, but I know science up to earth, like literally physics, biology, somewhat earth science, somewhat astrology, and obviously, hands down, chemistry. We're in my class right now. And it is so tough. You lose sleep, you're skipping meals. Well, for me, I was gaining meals because that's how I was dealing with the stress. I was like, shout out to the people who worked at my site. They know I used to get Uber Eats every day. We weren't allowed to leave for lunch. So I didn't have time to prepare anything in the day. So I had to get a lot of Uber Eats and Steamless or some. If you want to sponsor this video, I got you, baby. So then you're in this new environment, ton of kids that don't respect you. But it's all about how can you motivate them to do better? How can you give them the what to do directions? Are you giving do nows, right? It's all about the schedule. It's all about the management. That's why it's not even, you can pass the summer training based off management. Your content and how you prepare lessons means nothing. It is a small point, but you can have the greatest lesson in the world. If you spend the whole period trying to talk over people, it's not going to work. And that happens all the way to August 3rd. This summer was so long. If you guys want, I could go into even more detail. But I want this channel to be like a daily life in the DOE teacher as a fellow. And I'm going to make a separate video on how I balance lesson planning with coursework, with management, what works for me, what works with what I see working with other. And then I'm going to get into the juicy shit, how I deal with my ICT teacher, because that shit is the beast. That's like a whole nother episode. Most of the people are sped anyway. So you really in New York, if you're not working ICT, you're probably not working in a diverse enough school, to be honest. So this is Mr. Barrella signing out. I hope you guys enjoy the first episode. Many more to come. Salud.